They're two separate reviews, like practice test 1 and practice test 2.
Oh, they like both are tests. Okay,
Bro, you said practice test number 1, practice test number 2 has the same information on
What
it.
did you call me?
I'm not even going to see it.
Don't call me a
They're
read.
not. That's up to you. All right, who has spent some time with the review and has a question? We are going to do this in orderly fashion. So, Mikey, wake up. Now, Yvonne, how do we find a y-intercept? Miles just asked about question 3. How do we find a y-intercept? We have x, v, 0. So, every time, it doesn't matter what the equation looks like. Okay, it doesn't matter. If your job is to find a y-intercept, you put 0 in for every x in the problem. Okay? So problem 3 has 1x, so I'm going to put a 0 there. What is 0.3 to the 0 power? 1. Anything to the 0 power is 1. So now I have 3 plus 4 times 1, which is 3 plus 4, which is 7. 28 over 7 is 4.
It's not 12.
To find a y-intercept, I'm going to say it one more time. Let x be 0. It does not matter what kind of equation you have. Any equation, let x be 0. All right, who else has a question? Logan? 20 on the first review. Sketch this. So what's our objective is what is the first thing we need to do before we get started? We need to factor. And there is a greatest common factor.
And difference of squares?
And then we have the difference of
Squares.
Now, once we get it all factored, then we put some dots on our x-axis. The dots will go at 0, a plain x is a 0, and then 3 and negative 3.
And it was cubed, so you do the.
No.
So since it is an x cubed, there's 3 x's. So it's
Exactly.
x
Start from
cubed.
below.
It starts down here.
Exactly.
And then, every time I get to one of these points, I have to ask myself, do I go through, do I bounce off?
Nope, straight through.
Straight through.
Wait, why are you going straight through?
Because it's not square.
Remember, they only bounce off if you have squares on your factors.
And if it's even, start at the finish.
Jace?
I don't ask the question because it's a stupid question.
Okay. It's up to you. Right?
Please don't get angry at me, Miss Ford.
I will if it's something I've already talked about, I will. What do you want to know?
Okay, I hope you forgot it. Come on, I'm gonna come back to you.
That's good.
Okay. AJ?
Can you do 22?
This is a calculator problem. And notice where the variable is. The x is in the exponent, which means I need logarithms. But since there's an e, I'll ln both sides. Now, ln, that cancels. So 3x minus 1 equals ln 5.
Plus 1, divide by
I'm going to add the 1 over. I'm trying to get x by itself. Add the 1 over. Now, don't make that 6. This is ln 5. And then you're adding 1 to it. and then we're gonna divide by 3. So when I type that in, ln5, close parentheses, plus 1 equals divided by 3. So I got 0.8698.
When you type it in, you have to click the equals and then divide by 3.
If you don't hit the equals, it's gonna divide 1 by 3. It's not gonna divide the whole thing by 3. Okay?
Wait, I'm sorry. Please.
What?
It took me a minute to catch on. Just tell me how you typed it in.
Okay, I already said it once, but I'll say it again. Focus. Maybe if you quit talking.
Okay, I'm good.
ln5, close parentheses, plus 1 equals divided by 3. Equals is entered.
Oh,
ln.5, close parentheses,
I
plus
guess it's
1,
the top
enter.
first being divided by 3.
Yes.
okay.
Miss
thank
Ford,
you.
Put your hand down and go in order.
Okay, I'm gonna try to word this problem so you don't get mad, like, I'm not trying, I'm just asking.
Jace, just ask a question.
So on the test, there's certain problems that are calculator and no calculator, and usually there's 2 reviews, but they don't get combined, right? So it's just,
No, it's like practice test 1 and practice test 2.
yeah, but they're not combined, like, right? So is the test like split up with the like certain problems are with calculator, certain
Yep.
problems are with calculator?
Yep.
But I'm sorry, I'm trying to get.
He's trying to act. I'm sorry, Ms. Ford.
And that's exactly how the reviews are. On the first review, I marked them with stars.
Yeah.
On the second review, they're actually 2 separate.
Yeah, so
programs.
they don't get combined. They're 2 separate things.
Yes. Yes. So we'll turn in the no calculator part, and then I will give you the calculator.
Yeah, so we need to know both, or is it the same material on both?
Yes.
Okay.
Just like always,
Yeah,
practice test 1, practice test 2, practice test 3.
Okay, Ms. Ford, I got a question. How about
no, you say you going in order, Miss Ford.
I am, but you're not next.
Oh,
Teddy, did you have your hand up?
She's short, she getting
I'm
short.
gonna make that with you after airball on a door.
Alright, what?
Airball. Okay. You go to one of those APRT.
You find one.
Is it 23? I think it's 23.
23 is a compound interest problem.
Yeah, that's the big one, Devon. Every one of those is the big one.
27.
Get the pass underneath the bucket there.
27.
Yeah, you know.
27.
You know, I need emergency, baby.
27 is not even a growth problem.
Oh, yeah, I was trying to.
It's not even a growth problem.
Holcraft said it was.
Since it grows into one crap.
24. 24.
Oh,
He
I
said
said
27.
Yeah.
Alright,
Oh,
24.
24.
Alright, so 24,
What's that? What is 24?
here's my formula. So I start with 386. Remember, P is what we start with. I end up with 1025. And I don't know what R is, but I know that T is 3.8.
So we're gonna do log. No, we're gonna divide
Now.
first.
I want you to listen to me because I graded some papers already and I've seen some mistakes. When do we move the decimal? When it's a percent. So if something says 3.8%,
You move it over twice.
you move it over.
So point
This
zero.
is 3.8 hours. Do I move the decimal?
Oh, no.
No, it's not a percent. The only time you move the decimal is when it is a percent. Then you must move the decimal. Okay, got it? Okay. Now, first thing I have to do,
Why 386? Because that type of
first
problem.
thing I have to do is divide by
386.
386.
And then you could add like.
So 1025 over 386 equals E to 3.8 are. Once I've divided, then it's exactly like the problem I just erased. Now I'm gonna ln both sides.
Or you're not
Raise,
actually,
bring that 3.8 down.
you're not actually
Then divide by
dividing.
3.8.
That is gone,
Divide by 3.82.
and I'm gonna divide by 3.8. So type that in on my calculator. ln 1025 divided by 386, close parentheses. I got 0.257.
Yep, me too. Bingo.
Hold on, keep this up there, please.
Ethan,
Number 5 on test equal to
number 5.
Oh my goodness. Right, good.
Number 5 is the absolute value equation. So what do you think's gonna be the first thing you're gonna do, Ethan?
Add the four.
First thing we're gonna do is add the 4.
Sorry.
And then what are we gonna call, we call that
Oh, I know.
isolating the absolute value.
Oh my gosh, -6.
3x equals 3x minus 1 equals 6, then 3 minus 1.
Yeah,
Second
so
one.
split it up. So 3x minus 1 equals 6. 3x minus 1 equals -6. Notice, that's the way I split it up. I don't change other signs. I don't mess around with anything else. 3x minus 1 equals 6. 3x minus 1 equals -6. And then I just solve. So one of my answers is 7/3. And the other answer is -5/3. Just solving the equations.
Quick question, for asymptotes, you know how if it says it's just like x over x squared, they have to be equal, and if they're not, it's 0? What if they are equal? What if,
It's just whatever it is.
just what it
2x
is right
over
there?
3x
It's
equals
just
2/3.
okay.
All right. Was there a hand up back there, Logan?
Interview 21.
Is that for number 1? We were talking about number 1.
That's my dog, Lord.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so problem 21.
PR 3.
So the first thing we have to do is list our PRRs.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, let's try not to talk, okay? I'm not sure, but like, in other classes, everybody is like working and not talking. All right? You guys overall had 6 classes, and overall, your scores are generally the lowest, and it's because you're not like focusing. Let's focus. We don't want to be the lowest, let's be the highest.
Yes.
All right, factors of 6.
2, 3, 1.
I just realized,
Factors of 6.
you exposed on the video.
Over factors of,
She wasn't talking about me. Everybody focus.
Yeah, she wasn't talking about me.
factors of 6 over factors of 3.
Oh, say it again, Mom.
Then all of the possible combinations, so we're gonna make a list of those comments, make a list. So,
Let's try 2.
we could, now wait, I'm not there yet, stop it.
How'd you get the bottom numbers?
Factors of this. Now, take all of these and put them over 1. Well, okay, so it's 6, 3, 2, and 1. Then, take all of these and put them over 3. So 6 over 3, 3 over 3, 2 over 3, and 1 over 3. So there is my complete list of possible rational roots. Logan,
Would we count it off?
Yes,
points if you
talked
do a
about this.
fraction?
talked about this.
You
You
would.
gotta have it listed
would.
like this. If you want full credit, it's gotta be listed like this. Okay. Now, it says, find the actual roots. These are the possibilities. So to find the actual ones, you have two choices. One choice that will always work is take a number from this list and divide it. And what do you want to have happen? You want to get a zero. If you don't get a zero, then take another number from the list and divide it. And chances are, if you're picking reasonable numbers like 1 and 2, it's not going to take you too many times to get one that equals 0. Now, that will always work. So if you want to do it that way, you can always do it that way. This particular problem, I could tell when I wrote it down up here, factors by grouping. So if you want to factor by grouping, not everything does, but if you want to factor by grouping, you can also solve the problem that way. So I'll take a 3x squared out of the first two and a negative 3 out of the second two. So now I have x minus 2 and 3x squared minus 3. So here's where I am right now. Okay, does that factor any further?
You, 3.
I can take a 3 out, and I'll be left with x squared minus 1, which is x plus 1, x minus 1. So what are my actual roots? My actual roots are 2, negative 1, and positive 1. Every x gets a root.
When you said division, did you mean synthetic division?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could also use one division, but
So the roots are -1, +1, and +2.
2. Yeah. Those are the actual roots.
You said we won't get full credit for not like showing all our work. Will this be a film problem then, and not a multiple choice?
Yeah,
Only multiple choice or no
This
factor.
one is.
Hey, wait, so what about that 3 in front of it?
There's no x. Only x's get roots. So the 3 doesn't have any roots. AJ? I can't hear you. I need my compound interest formula.
You said 22? 23.
Alright, how much we have, you invested 12,000. Remember, P is what we start
Oh, my
with,
lifestyle.
3.5%.
0.035.
0.035. Compounded weekly, so N is 52. Because there's 52 weeks. And we're doing this for 10 years. So this is actually one of the easy ones, because we can just
What
type
it is?
in.
Yep.
Ariana, what are you guys doing? Don't act like those guys.
What?
Hey, your reaction shows it all, boys.
Here we go. So this is just to type in. Don't be using logarithms or anything like that. We're just typing it in. And that's it. Alright. Lucy, you get your hand up a minute ago. I did.
Mine already got it.
Got it? Miles?
On the first page, Mom? Or the second?
How do we find the vertex of a parabola? This is a parabola. It's an x squared. How do we find the vertex? Negative b over 2a. So 12 over 6 is 2. So my vertex is 2 comma something.
When you plug in the 2 for the x's.
Find the something, I plug in 2. So what is 2 squared?
4.
2 squared
Oh, 4.
is
Times
4.
3 is 12.
Times 3 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24 plus 4. So that is -8. That's your vertex. What else? Shirley, I see got some rhythm going back there. You ready for this thing?
I think so.
Miles? 25.
Bro, didn't we already do
Yeah.
You done this one?
Yeah. You can all, not today, but
What question?
just remember, you have to be able to do it on your own, and that comes from practicing. How do we write the equation of a line?
Y equals A times B.
No, that's an exponential.
Oh, y minus y2.
Oh, Y minus Y2
Over X2 minus
X1.
Get the slope. Get the
First, I
slope.
find the slope, yes, first I find the slope. And I find the slope by doing 11 minus 1, or y minus y, like you said, over x minus x.
10 over
So it
5.
looks like my slope is
2.
2. Now, there are kids across the hall, a couple doors down, in CP Algebra 1, and they're doing that problem, all right? So, no sympathy. If you screw up the slope,
That's on you.
that's on you, and there's no partial credit, all right? Because at this point of our lives, we need to be able to find the slope.
You should add a bonus question.
This is not the answer though, I need my whole equation.
Pick one of
So I'm
them.
gonna pick a point, I'll pick that one. Y minus 11 equals 2, x minus 3. So y minus 11 equals 2x minus 6. Add 11. And there is the answer to the question.
It's Y minus Y1 equals
All right, that's your answer.
X minus Y1.
15. What? I'm doing it right
Just
now.
said that, dude.
On my life.
All right, so let's just sketch this thing. I think all of our questions can be answered if we just sketch it. We already did one like this,
I didn't know this.
only the other one we did, we had to factor it first, but this one's already factored. So first thing I'm gonna do is what?
Positive 4 and positive 2.
So I'm gonna put an x-intercept at 2
4 bounces.
and 4.
Good job, Dan.
Airball.
How many x's does
3.
this problem have?
3.
3.
So it's
So
down
it
below.
starts down here. Now, at 2,
Keep going.
am I gonna keep going
Yep.
or I'm gonna turn around?
Keep going.
I'm gonna keep going.
You
Ba-
bounce
ba-
at
ba-
4.
And then here I turn around, right? So the questions say, what are your x-intercepts? Guys, these are your x-intercepts. X-intercepts, where you cross the x-axis, there they are.
2 and 4.
Where does it bounce off? Where does it tangent? Where does it just hit and go off? 4, 0. Now, what is a y-intercept? I have no idea, but how do I find a y-intercept? I let x be 0. So, -2, 16, because it's squared. So where's my y-intercept? Down here at -32.
Wait, so why wouldn't it be 2?
Because
Why
Y
wouldn't what be
equals.
2?
Well, you see how it says
Why would the x be 4?
Y equals It says y equals the one on the top.
I don't, these are, both of these are x-intercepts, both of those are.
No, I'm saying, but you picked 4 instead of 2.
As the tangent point, because that's where the curve is tangent,
Oh, that's where it
bounces
bounces?
off.
So wherever it bounces, that's where it is. Okay. I had to do a refresher, chill. I had to do a refresher.
You're still confused.
Sometimes your brain falls
I've already graduated, okay, I'm not worried about this.
What year did you go?
Some of you need to worry about
You
this.
need
Look,
to-
I bet you I'm looking at higher school and plug in AJ.
All right, one more, he's got another one. Teddy's your head up or what, or your hand up or what are you doing?
I got one. Oh, wait, no, Gia.
Gia,
Oh. Log 3x plus 1 equals 2.
what problem
Oh.
number are you talking? Which one?
19.
19.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you did it out here.
Solve.
Good job.
I know this one.
If I get a good grade on this final and show you I can do this, can I please get out of CP?
Here we go.
Come on.
First thing we do with a problem that looks like this is we do and once you get it loop-de-loop, then you're just going to solve it.
Just do math.
I just thought you said this was looking at me.
It looks like the answer is 5.
I said that.
We had a great class. It was always a great class.
Alright, Charlie, what?
I was
Eight.
gonna say 4 from test number 2. 4 from test number 2.
That's number 2. Alright, you can get one like this already. Charlie,
Sorry?
you already get one like this today? What's the first step?
Add 3.
Add the 3. And find out the value by itself.
So isn't it office hours today after
And
school?
then we set them both, or we, the first one, 2x minus 4 equals 9, and then 2x minus 4 equals -9, and then solve both of those.
Oh, you feel
Hello, tell them what you got on your exam.
I ain't walking 110.